My name is Gerald Gangaram. I'm a vice president at the Bill of Rights Institute, and today on our Honoring Service Internet series, I'm here with Jeremy Dobos. He's the president and CEO of Master Printing and Mailing, and also he was an Army officer. He was in the armor and military intelligence branches, and I'm so delighted to have him join us here today. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Gerald.
So I want to kind of just jump right into it. You know, you've done a lot in the military, especially going from armor to military intelligence. That's a pretty vast career. I know you did long enough that you've retired. Was there something in that career that impacted your view of the role and responsibility of citizenships?
Well, I think from all the way to the beginning of officer training, you're constantly reminded that you are taking an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. You're taking an oath to protect our way of life, and that's the most important thing. That's put up above everything, and that's why every enlistment, every rank advancement, people are repeating the oath, and that's important.
You know, and I think that's a great point that you even bring up, Jeremy. We don't just say the oath of office when we first go into service. We repeat that oath of office every time there's a promotion, and not just the person getting promoted. Everyone in the audience raises up that right hand and starts with, "I name, do solemnly swear that I'll support and defend the Constitution of the United States." And it goes on from there. And our oaths of office are so similar when you look at across that spectrum in government. How old were you when you took that oath of office?
I was 20 when I took it for the first time, which was when I contracted in ROTC between my sophomore and junior year in 1995, and then I took it again in 97 when I was commissioned, and then as I got promoted, I took it a couple more times.
Yeah.
And then administered it as well to other officers and enlisted soldiers who were being promoted.
And what does that oath of office mean to you now that you've retired from military service?
Well, I think it still means a lot. So number one, when somebody retires from the military, they are still technically a part of the military. So I still have to honor that oath. And I think most veterans would say the same thing. They still honor that oath. So it means a lot, and you don't realize it when you're younger. But the Constitution is the framework for everything that we have that's good in this country. And from that Constitution flows all the uniqueness of the United States over the last 250 years.
And you know, it's interesting. I was talking to one of our colleagues recently about how there is an oath of office for so many things, but there's also an oath of office, or as you would put it, a oath of allegiance that we take for those people that come into this country that decide to become citizenships. So a citizen that is born in that way doesn't have to take that oath, but those that come from another country do. And it's very interesting that it's a renouncement of things before, but they do still also, as part of their oath, they have an oath also to support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Very similar in the way that we take our oath. And what do you think about that? The oath of office, or the oath of allegiance that immigrants have to take when they become citizens of this country?
Well, I think it's a common denominator. They're becoming a part of something, and it's something that they become a part of. So when they take that oath and become an American citizen, they are subscribing to the same values, the same principles that we hold and have held since the founding of the country.
Now, how did you decide that you were going to become an armor officer, roll around in tanks and such?
I didn't really decide that. I got to put a couple of different choices on my ROTC selection sheet. I think my first choice was military intelligence. My second choice was armor, and my third choice was infantry. And I got my top two choices in the long run. So I was pretty happy about that.
And what about you're like I said, you're now president and CEO of a company, but you had that long career as a military intelligence officer. How does the one translate to the other?
Well, that's a good question. Military intelligence is about taking a lot of different information, raw data from a lot of different sources, and it's breaking down that information, analyzing. And the Greek word for analyzing is basically means break down. And then you're taking that information and you're synthesizing it into a product that gets briefed to commanders and decision makers. And synthesize means you're building it up into a consolidated picture. And so much the same way with, I guess, printing and print marketing, you are taking a product that is meant to influence. Maybe it's a postcard that's going out to somebody's mailbox to sell something to somebody, and you're putting together the message and the images to make that happen. So there's some crossover there.
Did you do a lot of that type of work in the military, at least that you can share with us in terms of anything that was an influential type of campaign?
Well, yeah, that's what military intelligence is there for, which is to help commanders at all levels make sense of a situational environment and to make decisions based off of what the threats are in that environment. So yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Now, obviously, not every young person that's watching this today is going to decide that, the way I want to serve is by raising my right hand and taking that oath of office in the military. How would you encourage young people to serve and strengthen their communities otherwise?
Oh, there's so many different ways to serve. Not just militarily, serving in your local community, whether it's within your religious community, a church, synagogue, whatnot. There's local food banks. There's so much you can do to make the world a better place and to make your community a better place. So there's just so many opportunities, and it's really the way that people are bent. Some people like to be physical, and serving somebody would be going out and mowing, say, a senior's lawn. Somebody else might not be so much into the outdoors and want to serve in another way, like on a phone bank, calling and getting donations for a food or hunger organization, that sort of thing.
Now, obviously, with you, that first primary service came with the military. But again, someone like you that's so into that oath of office and continues to inculcate it and practice it today, what do you see as your second service right now?
Well, my second service right now is to my local community. I think when we get out of the military, whether it's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, we go back into the communities from which we came, and we continue to serve. And it might be, you know, on the consistory of your local church. It might be on a board at the Hunger Center. So many different ways to do that. I would say for me, the most important way I serve right now is by bringing up my family and my children, and to inculcating in them a service-minded a way of life, and that's kind of where my focus is right now.
I really thank you for your time, and I'll give you this moment to. What would be those parting words that you would like to have our teachers and our students know, and even your kids that might watch this? What is that one message that you want to make sure, or story that you know that, hey, this is something that if I could tell you one thing to take away from today, this is what I'd love for you to hear.
I would say our Constitution and our Bill of Rights are the bedrock of our society here in the United States. Support that, uphold that, learn it, memorize it. That is the document from which flows all the good things that are happening and have happened and will happen in our country. And it's so important to support that Constitution. We have so many people, trying to, I think, undermine it from all different political spectrums. And but on the flip side, I would say that the Constitution is resilient. It's about checks and balances. No one political affiliation is going to upend the apple cart. We Democracy is fragile in other countries, not as fragile in the United States because of the Constitution.
Yes. And those founding documents are such a pillar for us. And that's why they're such an important primary resource. And for me, it's very encouraging to see that the number one thing that our teachers want for us besides our curriculum is those copies of those pocket constitutions that they carry with them so often, with them and their students. So, Jeremy, thank you so much for continuing to support us here at the Bill of Rights Institute. And I'm so glad that we were able to share this time today.
Thank you for having me.